Hello everyone, welcome to our first series of videos interviewing English teachers from all over the world. And in this opportunity, I'm going to be interviewing a teacher, an English teacher from Vietnam for E-Educritical. She is Tran Phan. She is a lecturer of English at WEC College of Education in Vietnam. So stay tuned with us. So hi Tran, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. So for the ones who do not know, I think most of you, she studied with me in the University of Warwick in England. So we were taking a master in English language teaching, but we specialized on teacher education.
Right.
So how's everything? How's life going with you there in Vietnam?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Okay. I have a few questions about the research that you made. I think it was related to video-based self-reflection for pre-service teachers. Am I right?
Yeah.
What was your main interest to do that research?
Well, I'm really interested in self-reflection and spoken reflection after they have the micro-teaching of peer teaching period with their students. So I think those two processes are really important in, improving their own teaching skills.
Okay, so why video-based reflection? Why not reflection in general?
Well, I think video-based reflection it reflects the true meaning of reflection. It's like when you watch video and you look at yourself in the video, it's like in the mirror. And I think the most powerful thing that you can get from the video is that it creates the pre-service teacher an environment to review and to reflect the teaching practice more objectively and critically. And also, I think it will enable them to understand the dynamics of their thoughts in their action as they learn how to teach. And more importantly, for teacher trainer, video-based reflection can help them, can provide the valuable implication for teacher trainer to, when you look at your trainee and what they did in the video, you can find a way to build better teaching skill for the trainee.
So do you consider that video-based reflection could be used in different contexts around the world?
Absolutely. I think, for example, in Warwick, we experienced the video-based reflection with our mentees. And of course, it was very professional because the micro teaching were recorded by a camera, and then the file was uploaded and shared to all the students so they can watch the video. But if in other countries we don't have enough availability of all the equipment, then we can just make use of what we have. It's like in my class, I used to use just the cell phone, and then I copy the file to every student. And sometimes if I can borrow a camera from the school, I can use my own camera. I can make use of that. So I think it's quite easy.
And what were the main findings of your research?
Well, my research, firstly, I focused on finding the stages that the novice teacher went through in both self-reflection and spoken reflection. And then I came up with more general findings after all the data I collected. Is that the first one is like building habits on viewing one's teaching practice, and then building knowledge on how to interpret and reflect with video recording, and then building knowledge on what to do through video recording. And the last one is realizing the affordances of video recording through their own improvement after that.
You mentioned something about reflection stages. What were those stages?
Yeah, okay. Actually, in my research, I focused on the two main phases after micro-teaching. The first one is self-reflection, and the second one is spoken reflection. So in self-reflection, I found out the four main stages that the novice teacher went through. First, emotional response, and then the realizing the strength and weakness process. then seeking for more objective opinions from their peers, and then developing their own record for the self-reflection is spoken reflection. And I found out that the three main stages in this process is the first thing is realizing the strength, and then digging deeper into the problems that they have, and then the self-constructed solution and improvement.
And how did the participants feel while watching themselves?
Well, this is the question I like most because, you know, when after I interview all of them, 100% of my participants confessed that they all feel so shy watching themselves again. And the second thing is like they feel like they were performing, not really teaching. And some of them say, I look so fake. But that's the first emotional response from them towards the video of themselves. But after they watch it several times, they started to feel more like they're more into it. That is when the realization process happened. They realize their strength and the weaknesses, and then they feel more confident to share them with the mentors or their peers to to help tackle their problem, and also to share the thing that they did good in the teaching. So I think that's a good sign of watching the video several times. You know, despite all the shyness and all the embarrassing moment you have watching yourself, after that you gain a lot.
So as the last question, in the case of self-reflection and assistant spoken reflection that you said it was with the tutor, right?
Yeah, the mentor.
Okay. Yes. Which one do you consider is more impactful?
Well, actually, I think both processes, self-reflection and spoken reflection, play kind of a very similar and powerful role in developing teaching skill for novice teacher, because you can't have spoken reflection with your mentor before you have your self-reflection, so I think the self-reflection process is a stage where you bring everything that you get from the video of yourself in mind, and then but at that moment you only have the problem. Maybe sometimes novice teachers, they don't know how to tackle the problems, they need a mentor. So that's when spoken reflection need to happen. You have to say about your difficulty, you have to share about your strength, what you did good, what you did not good. So having a mentor who tell you or who direct you to the right way, or to help you tackle the problem, is a really useful way to improve yourself and your teaching skill.
Okay, when you talk about mentor, are you referring to the tutor, to the teacher?
Well, it doesn't have to be tutor or teacher, because based on my experience, we have the novice teacher and they are considered inexperienced teacher. And then the mentor are the experienced teacher. They have some years in teaching, and they're kind of more professional than the novice teacher, who can give good idea for them.
So Tran, thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for sharing your research experience with me and with all the teachers that are following E-Educritical. Is there anything else that you would like to add or to say?
Well, there's only two things that I would like to add before we say goodbye. The first thing is I really appreciate my supervisor and my mentor in Warwick University, because they were the one who initiate everything that that helps me to build up this research and came up with such a very useful result and findings, because I am applying that in my college, and I think the video has made a very powerful impact on my student teaching practice. And I think even if you don't have the availability of equipment, you can make use of everything you have. As for me, I only use my cell phone, and I can work on that with my class. So I'm pretty sure you still can, right?
Yeah.
So try video if you are teaching the future teacher, and see how powerful it is in improving your student teaching skills. So I believe will.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very
Good
much.
luck.
Have a good night. I know it's very late there in Vietnam. Here in Venezuela, it's like almost midday, but I know that you are almost reaching midnight there. So thank you very
Well,
much.
yeah, you can say it's midnight because the dog is barking everywhere. So maybe you can hear it from the video.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.